Harambe YouTube, it is Charles, and today's video is going to be short. I just want to talk a little bit about this channel and how it has helped me to manage my chronic pain. Now, as you know, this channel is called the Chronic Crippled Collector Chronic because I deal with chronic pain, crippled because I am permanently disabled, and collector because I am a big nerd. And what I want to talk about today specifically is that number three, collector. What do I collect? Why do I collect? Well, let's talk about that. I collect everything from action figures to comic books, DVDs, things that kind of fill my time a little bit. The action figures, I got into it starting out of my wrestling fandom after I got injured. And so I would find my favorite wrestlers like Oscar. I have virtually every top wrestler that I really enjoy, whose work I really enjoy, I have at least one action figure of. And I eventually got into comic books and comic book collecting, collecting comic book characters in action figure form. And the reason why collecting is so important is it is part of how I processed my new life being disabled. I got injured around the age of 30. I'm 46 now. And no one is prepared to have their work life and their life that they've been building up for 30 years just stop. And I had to learn how to fill that time, and not just the time, but, you know, something to do with my head, something to look forward to. And collecting became that. And there are misconceptions about collecting. One, that it has to be expensive. It doesn't. I started collecting with DVDs. I would go to secondhand stores, pawn shops, maybe, $2 DVD here, $1 DVD there, so on and so forth. And with action figures, I hunt Amazon, secondhand stores, different stores, discount racks at Walmart. And with comic books, the same way. You can go to every comic book store has a dollar or discount bin. And so there is really no price of entry into collecting. But the best thing about collecting is not the accumulation of items. It's not even the purchase of items. It is, for one, the community. Be it online or your local comic book store, you will find some great people that really want to share their love of collecting and just shooting the shit back and forth, be it online or in person. It's a way to get out of your own head and to mentally escape pain and the frustration of being disabled. And so you have the community aspect plus the anticipation. I enjoyed looking online and price comparing and searching for, that action figure that I really want to get a hold of, that rare comic that I want to get at just the right price. The hunt is the best part of collecting. The actual purchase is kind of a bummer because the hunt is over. And so, it gives you something to sit your mind to and to connect up and network with people trying to find those deals. And then once we get past that point, there's the actual, my favorite thing right now is comic books. And I've always said that if you don't like comic books, it's just because you haven't found your comic book, because there's so many options. Everything from Bass Reeves, which is a semi biographical recounting of the legendary lawman Bass Reeves, to the Tin Can Society, a book by Image Comics about a group of disabled friends, one of whom was a superhero who ended up being murdered. NYX, it's an X-Men story from Marvel Comics. Hilltown, it is a vampiric gangland story. We could go on and on and on. This is just a few examples of vastly different books. But the great thing about comics, like I said, is you have something to look forward to every month. And reading, it does something to your head. It helps you to organize your thoughts. It helped me recover after COVID when I had cognition problems. And comic books as well. It's not just a written medium, but includes brilliant art as well. And so you're engaged in different parts of your mind. Um, and with this channel, I hope to be two things. I want to show that a very average, if not below average person can successfully navigate life with a disability and chronic pain. And number two, maybe give you something that you can hang your hat on, something to give you a distraction from the unending pain that we all go through. And like I said, comic books, action figures have been a lifesaver for me mentally, as well as therapy. Don't get it twisted. I think that's something that is often overlooked, but and I think in some communities discouraged. In the black community, when I was younger, it was something that was taboo. We didn't talk about mental health, but I am proud to say that I, went to counseling and I, got on antidepressants, and it saved my life. So even if you think you might need therapy, look for some therapy, because if the thought's there, you probably need it, and there's no shame in that. And most communities have an option for assistance or discounted. Some communities have free opportunities for you to get counseling. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm a grown man. I did it for years and years and still take antidepressants to this day. So that's just it, find something to fill that time, to fill that space in your mind, to replace, you know, a job you may have lost or an activity you may have lost. Disabled life is different, but it doesn't have to be empty. I live most of my life in this part of my living room, in my comfy chair, but I live it. I live it fully. Every day starts with me sitting here, either on my floor or at my weight bench, which is right here behind this tablet I'm talking into, and I work my dumbbells every day. Maybe it might be an hour, it might be 4 hours, but I do my dumbbells. I read my comic books, play a little computer game, create music. I do a lot of living here in this little part of this house in the middle of Wyoming, nowhere. And so you don't have to let disability limit you. And you can adjust, and you can grow, and you can expand. And if it's not collecting, find what that thing is that you want to set your mind to and give your time to. It could be art, it could be music, it could be, like I said, for me, finding an alternative way to exercise. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. That thing that you've been wanting to try, that you've been either intimidated by or you felt like you might get judged for, just do it. What the hell else you gonna do with all this time? Anyway, that's it. I've been talking for too long. I hope you guys are well and stay on top of your mental health and find a way to fill that time. You guys be easy.